Hi there, it's Jessica Rosin for your Coming Alive tip of the day. And today I've been reflecting on my experiences over the years and even as of late when it comes to being in what I call autopilot mode or survival mode. And so I've just been noticing my tendency to be able to kind of go into that really being in the busyness of everything, of everyday life, and just kind of getting caught up in the things that I need to do. And so looking at that and going, okay, what is this for me and what's the effect that it has on me? And so one of the things that I've really been noticing for myself and people that I talk to as well, that when we're in survival mode, some of the telltale signs has to do with things of actually if you notice that you're feeling fatigue or you're easily irritated with others or overwhelmed with the things that you're doing. Maybe even finding that you're using distractions a lot more, especially in our world today when it comes to social media. And a lot of it is really what we're saying. Another way of saying survival mode is being a little bit more numbed out or disconnected from ourselves or others around us. And so it can be quite an experience when all of a sudden you realize that, wow, I'm not really tuning into, for example, like how I'm feeling, and which can really relate a lot to the fatigue that we experience when we're in that mode, because there's so much that we are experiencing and so much input that is happening, but we're not really taking the time to process that and do those things for us that we need. And so lately, I've really been looking at, okay, what do I need to do to keep myself more connected? And really, in other words, just more present with myself, present with my family and those around me and in my relationship. And a few things that I've been using and a few practices have been things related to meditation, yoga, and nature. And those three things I've been looking into, how can I every day bring those into my life in a more conscious way, really, in an intentional way, which is what it requires so that we don't just kind of bob back up kind of more into that going through the motions mode. And so for me, I'm thinking about, okay, how do I do this where it's becoming more of just my everyday life? And it's important to say that we don't need to make this too complicated. And I think that's what gets in a lot of people's way, is that it feels like it's something that a project, like something that we really have to take a lot of time for. We have to go to yoga or do this major hike out in nature. But really, it could just be like 5 minutes a day, where if you have some transition moment or you have like during your lunch break, 5 to 10 minutes of doing some sort of a meditation. I find certain apps are really helpful for that, to have more of a guided meditation. But it could just be looking out the window or standing outside for a while and just noticing those around us. Whether it's the tree or the birds, and the key there is just being more in the moment as much as possible. And so I think that, for us to be able to bring that into our life a lot more is really important. And especially so that over time it becomes less of an actual practice and more just about a way of being. Like, this is the life that I'm living right now. So going from that survival mode to coming more alive, feeling more life and what really life is around us, but how that feels in our body. And it requires us to be more in that present moment. And so that's kind of what's been stirring for me lately, and thought that it would be a really great tip of the day, is to be able to find those practices that, and making them easy and simple, don't need to be too long, that can bring you more into the moment, so that you're not finding that you're going in and dipping back into survival mode as often as that we easily can. And so have a great week, and I'll talk to you next time.